Fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking your time to join this conversation. Once again, this is the Growth Code podcast brought to you by Fash Media Concept. My name is Fashomo Michael Olaiton. I am your host for today. And today with me, I have Mr. Omojevwe Ogheneruemuse. He is a media consultant as well as an educational consultant, a cybersecurity expert, as well as a peace advocate. He is the big fish in a big pond. And today we're going to have a wonderful conversation around bridging the AI divide, equipping African youth for the AI economy. It is no longer a news that a large number of African youth are excluded from the boom of AI. So we want to look at how we can integrate this crop of people into the new reality. We want to call on stakeholders to actually take their place. And I believe you are watching, you are also a potential stakeholder. So I want to encourage you to please stay around with us as we explore this wonderful conversation. Thank you so much for joining me today, Mr. Omojevwe. It's good to have you on the program today. Good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Fashomo Michael. I'm grateful for having me in this program today.
All right. So we'll start the program proper. First, for the people that are meeting you for the first time, I want you to give us a sneak peek into who you are and what you do.
Okay. All right. I'm Omojevwe Ogheneruemuse. I am a media person, a lecturer. I studied mass communication from the prestigious University of Benin, where I did my first degree, BA Mass Com, and I did my master's there also. And now, currently, I'm running my PhD with Mass University in climate communication. I also studied PD, have a PD in education from Corona College of Education, Lagos State, and also I'm a licensed teacher. Also, I have a certificate in peace building, where I studied a short course on peace foundation for peace, conflict, and conflict resolution at OOU, Olabisi Onabanjo University. I also have a certificate in cyber security and also certificate in disaster management. I'm an author because I've published, so I'm a poet because I love writing. Writing is one of my passion. I'm also a coach. I have a mentorship class where I teach young ones on the needs as they grow up, the things that they will meet and what to do when they see those things. I'm a father. I'm a husband also, a husband of a wife, a woman for that matter. You know, we have different kind of wives these days. So I'm a Christian also, and I'm very happy to say that I'm a Christian also. That is my ultimate identity. Thank you very much, Mr. Michael. That's just a snippet of who I am.
Fantastic. Fantastic. What a way to end it. I love the assurance and the confidence, and then particularly the confession. Some people find it so hard to confess their faith. So that is a very wonderful one and a very laudable profile you have there. So I did have some icebreakers for the conversation to start proper. So first, I'm going to like you if you can please share with us in your leisure time. What do you do in your leisure time?
Okay, in my leisure time, most time if there is Scrabble, I play Scrabble. I love Scrabble game. But most times I watch movie in my leisure time to make myself free.
That's amazing. So I'm going to make it two for this icebreaker before we dive deep into the program proper. So the second question is, if you could recommend a movie that you have seen, what will that movie be and why? If you could recommend a movie that has particularly helped your journey, what will that movie be and why will you recommend that movie?
Ah, can I remember because I've watched a lot of good movies, both secular movies, Christian movies. I've watched a lot of good movies. So, which one will I recommend? Well, one of them I love so much is Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. And I love that movie a lot because I watched what happened to him all through in South Africa. Yet, When he assumed power, he didn't pay back evil. In fact, that movie taught me a lot. He paid back evil with love, with selflessness, with service to his nation. Long Walk to Freedom. That movie is a very, very powerful movie. I enjoyed that movie also. And another movie I like, even though I don't watch home video that much, I love After a Night in July. It's a secular movie, but it taught me a whole lot about marriage. I knew something, so many things about marriage, but when I watched that movie, I learned a lot on how couples could learn to trust themselves and learn to live together. There are many movies, countless movies I have watched, but if we go to movies today, in fact, we can't stop. I watch movie like Remember the Goals. It's a Christian movie on how you should concentrate on what you want to do and believe in God and trust in God. And the sequel to that one was The Perfect Timing. It's a sequel to Remember the Goal. If you watch those movies, you will understand so many things. I also watch Overcomer. I recommend Overcomer. There are many of these godly movies. Overcomer, the lady was asthmatic, but in that her challenge, she was able to become the best long race runner, marathon runner in United States. And those are the few movies I could recommend for those that are watching.
Thank you so much. I believe that is actually a couple, and I believe it will be practical to those that are watching and those that may be interested to actually, learning through movie. Yeah, I prefer reading. I love movie too, but I prefer to read whatever information that I believe can help my personal growth to actually read it. I prefer reading movie. So thank you so much. So let's start the conversation by looking at your background as a communicator, and then I want you to tell us what inspires you, what drives your passion for empowering young people in today's digital world.
Okay, yes. We're not as privileged as young, considering the way the prevalence of information everywhere, we're not as privileged as this. Most of the things we learned in our days, we learned them by studying hard work. We did a whole lot of hard work, stayed in the library. I remember while growing up, I would go to the library. I would go to St. Mary's Library in Ajegule. I would spend time. I would go to library in Delta State. I would spend time till evening reading, trying to search out. No internet because we are digital immigrants. So we studied for most of these things, and it was now I understood that the life most of us are living, we're not informed about what we'll face. So we need to tell the youth what they will face in the future. So this drives my passion to organize youth programs most time, to mentor you, to let them know what they will face. And when it comes to the digital world, the world is moving, is migrating to a digital world, and the youths need to know this. So we should leave the analog world. And this is one thing that drives my passion and tell you to prepare themselves, because now the world is in short supply. Let me not say the word. Nigeria is in short supply of soft skills. Soft skills are those intellectual skills that you can apply to real life situation and solve problem. So, and those things are mostly done digitally. Most things are, they will require digital experience to do those things. And that's why we try as much as possible to tell you what they need to know. And another thing that prompts me to do that is because I have children. And if I don't impact this youth positively, who will teach my children if they decide to stay in this country? So we need to impact the youth so that by the time our children grow up, they will also do justice to our children. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that wonderful submission, so profound. So I want to ask you this pertinent question as well. When you look at educational system, the type of system that we run, are you convinced that we have enough facilities and structure that can prepare our students, our learners, for the digital economy, particularly the adventure of AI in our present world?
No, we don't. In Nigeria, we don't. Some African countries are trying, but we don't have in Nigeria. One of the challenges we have is that our curriculums are outdated. Our curriculums are not okay. I was reading an article between two sources. It was last year the article was published. It was not just an article, it's a real life situation. Both of them are studying accounting. one in Nigeria, one in the UK at the same time. So while they were sharing their ideas, one was like, okay, what are you doing there? What are the courses? When they discuss, so when the one in Nigeria told his cousin the curriculum, the cousin laughed. He said that is British 1977 curriculum. That's what they were using. So most of our curriculum are outdated. So they're supposed to integrate AI into most of the recent curriculum. Now, integrating AI is not enough. Integrating AI, you have to also make it practical. That the learning should not just be rote learning. What we call cramming is not cramming. Of course, I have education background. Cramming is a very good thing for every student. People mistake it for rote learning. Rote learning is what we call cramming. Cramming means you've digest that work, you've meditate on that um, textbook, that test, or that notes that you are reading from your teacher. Rote learning is when people begin to do recitations. So when they forget a line, they forget everything. And that is what they teach us in our schools these days. So we are behind in that. Our government has not really prepared it. Now, when we are going to, if the actual they want to revamp or we work on the curriculum, it's not just about giving us a curriculum. It's about that curriculum should not just be giving us knowledge, because we have too many knowledge in Nigeria, but less practical. That curriculum should be about skill solving. It should solve skills. It should solve problem. So we are going to talk about AI. We are going to create a form whereby you were able to apply the AI. That is what it means. So it's not just putting AI there. We know so much. That's why when Nigeria goes out, they do very well. I have a friend who went out to the United States and he said the lowest grade he had, it was 82. I said, how? He said, because everything there, you see the video. He's a doctor. You see the video, you see everything, every part of it. That is implementation. So most times here we talk about it. The teacher will tell you AI, tell you what AI means, but do you really have the tools? No. Now, another challenge the government have is underfunding. The government is underfunding education. Education is underfunded. Now, we cannot even get the basics. Go and check our schools. They are not properly done. And the ones that are properly done, no technological tools there. So the government is not really preparing the youth for it at all. They are also the industry is not helping matter. The industry is not helping matter also because the stakeholders, they need to understand that AI is becoming the main thing. Technology is becoming the main thing, and they need to implement it. It is very, very important to do that as it stands now. So the government need to implement this STEM education system, which is the government need to implement that. It's very, very important the government implement that. Same is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And they interwove these things in interdisciplinary form that will ensure that students learn better. So the government should ensure that the government does that also. That we have shortage of skilled technological teachers, skilled digital teachers these days. Most of them that are skilled, what happened? They run out of the country. Once somebody is technologically inclined, is discovered online, the next thing you hear, he don't jackpot. And that is a challenge we're having in the country. So I've just mentioned three valid points that the government should update the curriculum. After updating the curriculum, you don't just update and give us what we learn to get. No, you give us, provide the infrastructure that we're able to do practical with. After doing that, those that are digitally inclined should be gainfully engaged so that the younger generations should also tap from their wealth of knowledge. I think that is what we need to do to ensure that we help the youths in bridging that gap in the educational sector. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for that wonderful submission. Thank you so much for that wonderful submission. And I heard that you mentioned
I can't hear you,
is
Mr. Mike.
okay. So I heard you say that our education is underfunded and that we really do not have the basic infrastructure, and particularly we lack technological people that know more in the aspect of technology. You know, the brain drain syndrome is one of the things that is affecting us. So thank you so much for that wonderful submission. So my next question is going to be that as aspiring or as a media consultant, let's talk about how storytelling. How can we use storytelling to change the narrative? How can we use storytelling to advocate for the inclusion of artificial intelligence to what we do?
Okay, storytelling. It is very important. Storytelling is as a media person, one of the things storytelling does is that everybody likes stories. Even you talking, you like stories. The grandpa, grandma, the youth, the elder, everybody loves stories. And when the story is very captivating, you want to swallow that, you want to take a whole lot of it, perhaps when it comes with a moral. So when we talk about storytelling, the storytelling we are going to do, it should be something that is conversant with the digital AI. We should be able to tell stories relating it to youth who have used AI to skip to get to greater places, who are utilizing the need for AI. So with that storytelling should go along that line, and the storytelling should also be culturalized. When I mean culturalized, which means people should be able to people should be able to link it to the culture. Now, one of the challenge, if this AI, if we don't bring it home, you find out that the narrative of the AI we are using, from ChatGPT, DeepSeek, every one of them, the narrative we are using, you find out that they are being tailored towards a foreign language, culture, values. So if we tell the story in our own, it will be told in our ways. We will we will implement our culture. And in the bid to tell stories, also using it as storytelling, we need to inculcate some of the basic, um, how will I put it now? This career into it. Because when you are telling story, you can talk about storytelling with AI and agriculture. Very important. People will say, how does AI affect agriculture? Yes, it does. So many things we struggle to solve in agriculture those days. We read books for. AI can just tell you what to do. You can get a video on boarding. AI will show you, okay, this is how you board, and you will get it right if you practice it. It has make a whole lot of things in minutes. You get those things done. You can use AI and health. You can use AI to read about a lot of things, and you will get it done. So those are ways you can tell stories. You can tell stories on maybe AI and culture. You can do that. So storytelling is a very vital point that can actually help a lot of persons to learn and to get adapted to the AI system, to the current digital reality. Sorry, that means our current digital realities that we live in now. So storytelling is an aspect that everybody should key into. So there should be seminars, organized storytelling just on AI. Let us use AI to talk about this. Let us use AI. You can use storytelling to even create peace also. It is very important. AI and peace, you can use it to create peace also. It's very, very important. Thank you very much.
All right. Another profound thought right there. Thank you so much for that. So let's you know rely more on your knowledge in cybersecurity. I want to draw my question from your knowledge in the area of cybersecurity. So, what role does digital safety and awareness plays in empowering African youth, the AI economy? You agree with me that it's not only the learned, even the learned, sometimes they fall trap of using one password for a lot of their accounts, and as a result of this, their data is breached, their hard-earned money, they get defrauded online. So, how does awareness and digital literacy can help to equip African youth for the AI economy?
Let me add something before I answer your question. It is one thing for you to be aware, it's another thing for you to implement. So you can hear it now and decide not to implement it, but it's left for you to do that. From what you've said, it is a very sorry case, especially in Africa. I will digress a bit and I will come back. You see, when we talk about AI, most of these things are developed abroad. Do you know the data that we use as I'm using AI? my data could be traced from the back end of those people doing it. And that is dangerous to Africa. So if they want to get any information about me, they will get it. That is why before I come to answer the question on the phishing, which we call in internet that you can steal people data or steal people information, it is very important the government begin to look inward to ensure that we have our own AI and digital facilities domiciled here, created here by Nigerians, by Africans, and utilized by Africans to the world. Now, when you talk about that, a lot of persons have missed funds. Money have been missed. At the last time we did a study about some trillions, some billions, I could not give an accurate figure now because I didn't know I'll be talking about it, but I knew we did a research on it. Billions leave accounts of people every day, billions of dollars every day as a result of internet fraud. If you go to threatmap.com, if you type it on your internet, you see what will happen. It will tell you how many people are trying to hack people's accounts as at this moment, if you try it anywhere in the world. So it will show you that this is from where it is coming. Sometimes you see that USA, Japan, China, Germany, you'll be shocked. And tell me, what are they targeting? Most of them, we have what we call whaling in cybersecurity. Whaling is when you try to hack a prominent person or a prominent company. You know, somebody that could hack Dangote account, you know what it means for that person? He has made money. So we call somebody like those people, we call them whaling. So those people are always targeting organizations. They are targeting educational institutions. They are targeting governments. Those are the people they are targeting. And if you do what I tell you now, all those people that are watching online, just go to your laptop, you try threat map, you see, in fact, you see like maybe like 5 million accounts have been trying to be hacked now, including your own that is talking to me. Somebody's hacking, and we call brute force hacking. Brute force hacking, I can even use AI and track that. Now, there was a site, I forgot that site. Once you type that site, it is how to generate password. Any password you put, it will tell you how many days it can take a layman, a hacker. Now, let me correct an impression because I don't want to. So I do not look at those of us that do cybersecurity. We all are hackers, but we have different types of hacking. We have ethical hackers, which are white hackers. We have gray hackers, mix of white and dark hackers. We have black hat hackers. All these hackers now, they come from the I think I'm delving into cyber history, but anyway, that will be fine because you need to know. Now these hackers, these names, they came from the American cowboy system, where the cowboys, they use hats. So those that use dark hats are always seen as the bad guys. So when I say black hat hacker, those people, they hack for their greedy interest, to steal people's account, sell their account, or utilize it for their interest. Then we have gray hackers. Those ones, they are neither, they are not, they are not bad, they are not good, but they are in the middle. They are good sometimes, they are bad sometimes. They use it for just to show off. Now we have ethical hackers. That's where I belong to. That's the part I belong to. Ethical hackers, the only thing that distinguishes all of them, ethical hackers never visit anybody's account without their prior knowledge. You must tell them, please, Mr. Mike, I want to check something in your account. I want to make a trial on something just to know. Maybe I want to check for vulnerability. It's possible I check for vulnerability. If I pick your account and I can check your account, I can use brute force to check how long will it take to check your account. It's possible to do that. That's ethical hacker. Then we have others. We have something like blue hackers, we have red hackers, we have green hackers, but we are not talking about hacking today. But all these are aspects that people use to take money from people's account. And it's very important that we all are enlightened. And the shocking thing is that the easiest way to hack is AI. In fact, when I was taught AI hacking, I was so shocked. All the codes at first, the tutor, the facilitator general gave us different kind of code. I could not memorize any one. And when he finished that one, we did Google Document hacking. Then when it comes to AI hacking, wow, this is wonderful. I can just put a prompt on the AI. It will tell me the code that I will use to check that hacking. So AI has everything there. So they will use it on us also. And that's why it is very dangerous for you to use a password. Now, when the only thing we advise, if you are using one password for all your devices, it is better you are the only person using that device. Don't share that device, because you might leave your device open. Somebody will access that device, can get your password by then and utilize it. You don't trust people when you come to the ethical, to the digital world. I had an issue with a colleague who wanted to use my system for something, my internet password, and I refused. And it was like, why? I said, no, that is personal. Before now, I released my password anyhow. But when I attended the cybersecurity class, I was told that you don't just give password anyhow. Yes, it may be to your wife. Your wife may be sincere. Somebody else who maybe your wife was just saying some things and they may pick it. So you don't share your password anyhow, except you are the only person using a device. You're supposed to, and it's better you change your password every 4 months. It's better you change your password every 4 months. Or you use a password. There are some password you can use. You will see it there. If you use a particular site to check it, it will tell you that this password will take 89 years to crack with brute force. There are some users will tell you they will use this amount of time to crack. So it is very important you don't use a password every day. We need defense. Now in cybersecurity, we don't say if attack come. We say when attack come, because no organization, no matter how powerful they are. But you are aware that Google was hacked. You know Google was hacked. So what is the big deal about it? Even US Pentagon, the US head of military was hacked. Come on, Jam. When Jam was making Shakara, look at what happened to them last this thing. The person that did it was just by the side there. What did they do? The person, it was so funny because we have to use Jam as a case study in our study. And the person that did it was, what he just did was just to disrupt the exam so that it will upgrade for those students. And when they were caught, they said each student, some of the students paid us, the lowest was 700,000, some paid 2 million just to pass Jam. And that is the situation we are. So hacking of this thing, AI has really made it easy these days for people to hack people's accounts. And those of us that are in the field, we are always eagle eyes, watching our system, watching our devices. And also, I think I'm taking you to cybersecurity class now. Okay, let me just hit this before I go. We have what we call the Internet of Things. Internet of Things are those smart devices that uses security, digital security. And it's very important when you are doing that. Maybe like your gate, we have smart gates these days. We have smart doors. We have smart windows. You just go, hi, I'm Omojevwe, and the window. Be careful those passwords, though, because once those people you are using it for, they know the techniques. That one is more deadly. They will do a deadly blow. So what we advise most times, some of the ways you can reduce that, you can also use an MFA, multi-factor authentication, maybe like your biometrics, your eyes contact, because most times your eye is unique to you. Your biometrics, your fingerprint is unique to you. I think those are the two things that are unique to every human being. No two persons has the same fingerprint in the world. No two persons have. So you can use those ones. Those are ways you can. Then also, if there is a threat at all, maybe in an organization, you have to call the IT person and tell them, please, my account has been compromised, and they will look into it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That is profound, very elaborate. That is profound and very elaborate. So thank you so much for those of you that have joined us. Please, I would like you to know where you are joining us from. Please drop it in the comment section. I'm going to spotlight your comment, spotlight your name, and also give you a shout out for staying tuned to this program. Thank you, Mr. Omojevwe, for that wonderful contribution. So if you can hear me, please let me know where you are watching us from in the comment section. And if you are gaining value from what my guest is sharing with us today, kindly let me know in the comment section. I look forward to reading from you. So, Mr. Omojevwe, let's quickly talk about the major reason why we are having this conversation is that a large percentage of African youth are excluded from the AI boom. First, I would like you to talk about the risk. What are the dangers associated to these realities? The first question. And the second question is, how can we mitigate this ugly reality? It is actually a known fact that a large percentage are actually, excluded from not only the AI itself, even talking about digital literacy and whatnot. So, what are the risks associated to this reality, and how can it be mitigated? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mike. Please, those that are watching and if they have questions, they can drop it also. So we can answer the question vis-a-vis as we are answering. So that not when we close, maybe we are short of time, we'll be looking for. So that's just an advice, by the way. Now, when we talk about the digital divide, it is a very, very, very ugly one indeed. It's not good because African youth are still competing for that. And one of the challenges that there was this digital gap which has created inequality, digital inequality between the developed country and the developing country, because we are not used to AI as much as those people. It has become part of their life, and that digital gap has really created, like, how will I put it now? It has created like, it gave them edge. It gave them edge over those of us in Africa, whether we like it or not. We are yet to attain that level. So there's an inequality in the digital divide also. Now, we also have economic marginalization. Now, when we go to the digital market worldwide, we may not be able to compete with those people. When you talk about the knowledge base, we do have it. Yeah, that's the truth. We have the knowledge base. But do we really have what it takes to compete with those people outside? This is part of their system. This is part of their life. So this gap is really affecting us economically. We only know much about it, but practically we may not be able to do that also. Then the inability to compete globally, because there's this digital divide also, we may not be able to compete globally. Now, if you watch football closely, I'm not a fan of football. I don't discuss football. I don't like it. But this particular day, I was just sitting there watching the match, and I saw where they were using AI for football. I marveled. I don't know the team I was watching. I think it was then. Was it JJ or Coach Okan who was playing? That's why I was interested. I just said, let me watch what they were using it, how they train. So these people, they watch the other team, they watch how they play, they bring it back, they watch it, then they will put it in a computer. I was also watching how the ball was moving, they watch the step. That is technology for you. That is technology. That's how you employ technology. If Nigeria could even employ that in our football, in fact, I didn't watch ball. But who was complaining this morning? Somebody called me this morning, was telling me that, somebody was complaining that Nigeria was defeated. I didn't even know there was a football going on. That Nigeria did not try at all. Nigeria know this, Nigeria no do that. As if you provide these things. These people that you are competing with, most of them, they are advanced. So they even know they can even take a video, watch the video of a Nigerian player, go and put it in their AI, their digital world, and check the move of that person. They will defeat the person all of a sudden. That's the power of it. So you cannot compete globally when you are digitally behind. So if our youths are digitally behind, our system is digitally behind, we cannot compete with the world. Let us take it to finance. Because of that, we're also missing a lot. These days now, you must pay physically. In the advanced world, everything is done online. That is why everybody wants to sort. The policeman wants to get sorted. The accountant wants to get sorted. The engineer wants to get sorted. Bills are increasing. People will inflate prices because we are doing things manually. That thing is costing us economically also. Beyond talking about the youth, it's costing the country economically. The world has gone digitally, where everything is digitally done. And the world has gone beyond that. So we look at exploitation of data also is another issue. Our data are being exploited because those people that have the back end of the information that we are providing, they have access to most of our profiles. We compromise our data. Look at what happened to Facebook last time. So most of the things you do there, they are in Facebook. So if somebody wants to trace us in Nigeria, maybe somebody wants to trace me, it's very easy. I'm on WhatsApp. I'm on Facebook. That's owned by America. I'm on Telegram. That's owned by Russia. So they can easily get me. I'm on Instagram. They will get me. They will just go there, get all the information they need about me. I have Gmail, and where I have most of my information. So if the American government need anything outside, that's why you see, in China, most of these things don't work in China. And people are blaming them. I'm just laughing. Yes, they don't work because my undergraduate work was on cultural imperialism. I tied it to internet, and I'm writing a paper on it now on digital imperialism. So they don't work in those advanced countries. That's why even in France, Facebook don't work like that because they understand the technicalities of these things. So the government should come in and put in our digital world in order, because now, whether you like it or not, just note this, that the cyberspace is now the fifth domain, which means the cyberspace is compared to land, the way we have land as a space to protect. We have our air as a space to protect. We have the sea as a space to protect. We have, I forgot the fourth one. Then now cyberspace is also a place to protect. So every country, the digital space, people are spending money to protect the digital space. So it's not something we joke with. It's not something that we need to joke with now. So we are missing a whole lot. Then we also have brain drain. Because the government is not ready to put anything together. What happened? Those of us that are learning it will leave the country. That's the truth. I have known a whole lot of smart Nigerians who has left this country because they were not being utilized. That's just the truth. And you ask a question that you want, what do you think the government should do? I think, like what I said when I answered the other question, the government should also employ STEM education. STEM education. S is for science, T is for technology, E is for engineering, and M is for mathematics. Now, they should ensure this form of education, though it's applied in Ghana, applied in Kenya, and some African countries. Nigeria, we only talk about STEM, but we are not implementing it. Implement means you have to put your resources where children, where students can learn these things in total. They will learn it in and out. The government should ensure that they make digital education important. Digital education should be something that Nigerian government should not just put in the curriculum, but also fund. And the stakeholders should be called together also. Stakeholders of digital services should be called together to put things in order. They are very, very important that we do those things. Thank you very much, Mr. Mike.
Another wonderful line. Thank you so much for that once again. I think there's a lot in of our government that needs to be done. However, I actually want to believe that it's not from the government. I think some stakeholders, you understand, professionals also need to do better.
I can't hear you properly, Mr. Mike.
Okay. So I was saying that it's not only the government that should be left alone to do the work.
No, I talk about the stakeholders too.
I'm just giving a recap of what you said. I'm giving a recap
Okay,
of
sir.
what you said. And I'm using this medium to also call on stakeholders that are watching that the bulk of the work should not only be left to the government. There's a place of advocacy. There's a place where people will actually, let the government know the order of the day, and this is one of them. You understand? There are sometimes that it is the people, it is the stakeholder, it is corporate organization that will wake the government up from their lethargy, and this is also what the program is also meant to achieve. So thank you so much for that. So you make mention of the fact that our schools are not well equipped to teach our students, the true knowledge of artificial intelligence. So my next question is, what practical step? Now let's talk about the practical steps that schools, institutions, and parents can take to prepare young Africans for the power AI economy, because it is true that in the next few years down, virtually everything that we'll be doing will be powered by AI. So we've talked about the fact that we really do not have those things in place. So in practical time, if you can give us two or three, that would be better. In practical time, what can schools, institutions, and parents in particular, particularly parents that are in quotes that are in the know. So what are they supposed to do?
Well, most of these things are not they are not easy to come by because they will demand a whole lot of financial resources. But actually, the government also should try to be real to fund digital education. You should pay attention to digital. You should give digital education a special place in the country because that's what many advanced countries they are doing because they know that that is what the world is becoming now. So it should give digital. There should be funding. When I mean funding, it's not just release the fund to some contractors or to some cronies or to some government officials and they will go and buy anything fake. No, you have to ensure that maybe I know we are trying because some states they are developing digital hubs, but they are not enough. The government should really invest. Then we talk about the schools also. Well, most of these things are not easy come by. What is the school fees? Only very few schools could achieve these things because getting this equipment they cost a whole lot of money. So as much as possible, the schools also, only few schools can achieve this. And that's why we call on stakeholders. Stakeholders should be able to sponsor. Maybe they should participate. They should be able to sponsor. Now we have parents. Parents that are in the know, they should come together and look at how do we put things in our school digitally. What do we do to encourage digital education in our school? That is very important that parents should look into that. Parents should come together, like the parent forum, the parent teachers association. People, schools will say parent forum, parent teachers association. That's one thing that they should be engaged in. The money they contribute, okay, what are we contributing this money for? How are we going to use this money? Is very, very important. They know what to do with it and how they use it. And if it's for digital education, they should source for digital education. And you find out that that will help the school to also go. So since you have raised this point, I think it's something that we should look on in our country, because I never actually thought about it this way. I belong to Parent Teachers Association of my children's school, and maybe it's a suggestion that we can give to them, that we can actually help our children to go up digitally, instead of, because parents bring money to buy buses. That's one thing I know they do. Most time, if you check most schools, it's bus they want to buy, or they will build one classroom. Now, would you tell them, no, instead of by building a classroom, why don't we just contribute this money and give these children a digital education by employing somebody that will teach them and ensure they practice it practically? Get a boot camp for those children during their summer, and you find out that those children will learn a lot. And now, one thing you take off, Mr. Mike, that I want to correct on in maybe my educational background is that you didn't talk about the learner. The learner is very important. I was advising somebody on yesterday about this, and I tell them, I says, no matter how good the teacher is, if the learner is not willing, nothing you can do about it. So the learner, who are the youth, who are the students, they should be willing also to say, we want to accommodate this that you are giving to us. That is very important also. Thank you very much.
Okay, the willingness. Yeah, without the willingness, learning will not be complete, and that is true. No matter how a lecturer prepare for, you know, 4 5 hours, and your learners are not willing, you achieve little, and that is very profound. So, I also want us to talk about the skills that African youth should concentrate on right now, because we're talking about it has been established, and we also know that the future is AI powered. So, from your own end, what skill set should African youth be looking forward to acquiring so that they can be relevant in the future of things?
Okay, we look at the soft skills. The youth should develop soft skills is where you create you will be able to solve problem. You have a critical skills, critical thinking to solve problem. The youth should begin to migrate towards that. You know, those days where we go up, they will tell you hard work. But what is really hard work? You go to an engineering site, you see somebody, a foreman, holding a paper and a pen, standing and looking, and you see people carrying concrete. And yet, when they finish, the foreman will pay them. He may go home with times five of those people money, and that is the truth. So, how do you define hard work? That becomes the case. So what I begin to discover, I discover that that is the power of soft skills. And some people will complain and say he's not doing anything. But if you know the way he has thought about it, how to solve problem, how to put this thing together, the engineer that is there is not just there for fun. He's calculating. That's why he uses his brain to work. He tax his brain to get what he wants. So we should need to, students should be taught about problem solving, soft skills. Then they should be taught about problem solving. How to solve problem is what gets you to wherever you want to be. Now, let me say something. People don't respect people that tell stories. People respect people that solve problem. You are a leader because you solve problem, irrespective of whether you are titled or not. So when people respect you, is the problem you are able to solve. That's when people begin to respect you. So students should be taught to solve problem. And that is very, very critical in this AI generation. Beyond the physical things you do, use your brain to work also. Use your brain to calculate. Get familiar with the digital world. Not to use it to watch movie, but to use it to what? Advance solution to society is very, very important to do that. Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much. I love that powerful quote that people don't respect people that tell stories, but people that solve problems. You should be a problem solver. So I want to internalize it and tell myself, Michael, get up because you are a problem solver. There are a lot of
Thank you.
problems, solutions, and that is the mindset I'm taking away from this conversation. So I'm gonna put you on the spotlight right now. You're already on the spotlight, but I want you to imagine this scenario that you are speaking directly to African youths. Let's say 20,000 African youths as you're seated right here. What will be your advice for the group of young people? What will be your advice to thousands of African youths that will be watching this program?
If I'm speaking, if an advice of encouragement, I know Africa is a very tough situation. Africa is a very tough continent. Most of us, including me talking, we are facing very, very challenging situations here. So, what I will encourage every African youth, don't give up. Don't give up. I would like you to push further to ensure that you put in your best. You give your best to everything that you are doing. Let me tell you, there's a prize for everything, whether good or bad. So if you are listening to me, wherever you are listening, don't give up. Life does not give you what you want, life gives you what you fight for. So you have to go the extra mile. I will also want to encourage those of you listening to me, please try as much as possible to read people who has broken the ceiling. When I say breaking the ceiling, don't go and break your father's ceiling and say Mr. Omojevwe says so. That's not what I'm saying. Breaking the ceiling is you break the limits. You break the barriers, things that are limiting you, you break them by being conscious of your action and being deliberate to meet your desire to what you want to do. Now, example, we have so many youths that are like one of the youths I read a lot, I watch a whole lot is Chimamanda Adichie. I am a secret admirer of her because I've watched her. She's in her 40s. I'm in my 40s. And I admire her so much that she has spoken almost in many places of the world to top ranking. And because she's diligent in what she's doing. So it is better you read about people who inspires you. You know, most times the generation now, most African youth, because of the challenge or one other, they are so focused on the challenges that they complain everywhere. They are not thinking again. Please think straight. Create a suitable and viable psychological, psychological, social, spiritual, physical environment for yourself so that you will not be drained. All right. Even though the Africa is tough, even though your country is tough, because I believe I'm not talking to only Nigerian, even though your country is tough, fight hard to build yourself because you will be recognized one day. The story of William Kachanga of Malawi, I love that film. What was this film again? It was a book that became a film. The boy that harnessed the wind, very powerful movie. Malawi was, in fact, his village, they were dying because of droughts. The government has deforested the place. And he was just in SS1 and he saw a book that talked about using the wind to generate energy, something like that. And he did wind vane and he generated power. They generated electricity. And today, Malawi survived because of him. All of a sudden, South Africa picked him. Now he's in US and United States is utilizing his gift. So you can solve problem as Kajawa did this thing when he's still alive. He did this when he was 16. He saved a whole community. We can do that. There are challenges all about. We should stop complaining and focus on what we should do. And also for those youth also, sorry, Mr. Mikey, I need to digress because you say I should advise them. Those that election come, they will collect money and vote for one day, collect 10,000 and collect 20,000. The next 5 years, you have just sold your next 4 years. That is just the truth. So the youth should be resistant, okay? Should be sincere to yourself. Be truthful to yourself. It's very, very important you do that. Thank you very much.
Fantastic, fantastic, awesome, amazing, brutal conversation, and honest one for that matter. You must never further, you must never give up. Never give up. Never give up. It has been said, and you have echoed it once again. Do not give up. And then you must also ensure you push further. And also, you must give your best because life doesn't give you what you want, what you fight for. Thank you so much, Mr. Omojevwe, for those wonderful thoughts, man. Thank you for all your submissions. We believe that we have contributed our quota to the development of the African continent by empowering people with their mind that they have a lot of possibility in them, and there is time to awake the giant that is within, such that every one of us will bring something positive to people and drive the economy over the continent. My name is Pashimo Michael Olaito, and that is the size of our package on today's program, the Growth Code podcast, is brought to you by Pash Media Concepts. Once again, I want to say a very big thank you to our guest, Mr. Omojevwe. I look forward to having further conversation on this platform with you and also on different topics. Thank you so much for being resourceful. Thank you for working with us. There are some persons, their life is actually different from what they preach. But with my relationship and conversation with you, you are one of those that walk the talk. Thank you so much. And on that note, we draw the curtain on this episode. It's like come your way next week, another guest talking about wonderful topic. My name is Pastor Michael. Really blessed. God bless Nigeria and God bless Africa.
Thank you. God bless Nigeria too. God bless Africa. I love that. I love that. I love that, Mr. Michael, because many people say things. Nigeria is a blessed land. It's not a cursed land. We should know that. I take that to heart. I fly the flag of Nigeria. I love Nigeria. I speak well of Nigeria. Thank you very much for being one of those that love our country. It's a prosperous land. Thank you very much. And thank you for having me also in this program.